Morning everybody, and thanks for coming along today, and thanks to Leisure Time for allowing us to use their offices here in the city centre. I don't think it's going to be any great surprise to anybody, but we're delighted to announce that Michael Flynn is the permanent manager of Newport County. As we know, Michael has shown what he's able to do with the position, and to achieve what he did with Lenny and Wayne and others, and indeed and the team on Saturday, was absolutely phenomenal. The lift for the city has been enormous, and we're confident that that will continue for next season. So, Michael Flynn, Newport County manager.
Well done, Mike.
Thank you, Rob. Thank you. Look, for me, it's an honour to be made, manager of your hometown club. I've got great staff, Lenny, Wayne Hatswell, who are going to be with me, just finalising those things. Chairman, the board of directors have been absolutely fantastic. They've always been open and honest with me. Whether I agreed with them all the time is a different matter. They're always pushing a hard bargain, but they've been brilliant. So I can't thank them enough for their trust and their loyalty, I'd say. And the fans of the football club mean everything to me. You only have to see what Saturday was about, and they deserved that. Maybe not the last few minutes, because it was heart-wrenching and nerve-wracking, but they deserve the end outcome, and I can't thank them enough for that.
Questions?
Well, I don't mind. I'll do the ones after.
Yeah, well, I'll do the ones after, but we can.
Yeah, well, let's have a few questions off you first.
All right. I suppose it was the easiest decision in the world, Gav, after Saturday. But how can you ensure, as a collective, that it's 2 seasons running now that Newport have been finished one from bottom of the bottom to one outside the bottom to? How can you ensure it'll be better next season?
Well, I think first and foremost, and obviously the position that we're in after the run that Michael put in is fantastic, because it retains the league status. But also, I think if you look at it, that even if we'd have gone the other way, I think we'd have still been here today. I mean, Michael has done a fantastic job in a very short space of time. And I think, for us as the board of directors, and indeed everybody associated with the club, one of the key things that Michael brings is the fact that he is a local boy, and you're absolutely right, we need to have stability. And that's stability throughout the club. You've seen the running that the players have put in, and how they fought for Michael and for the status of the club. So, it's incumbent upon that we build on that, momentum, but we give that stability. So, for us, having Michael in and on board, this is a 2-year deal, and hopefully it'll go on and on if both parties want that to happen. We've sat down with Michael, we're looking at the planning, and we'll be making a number of announcements over the coming weeks around things like pre-season. And for me, I think, and Alex is sitting over there in the background, some of the planning that he's done in support of things for next season puts us way ahead of where we were previously, and that should give everybody some comfort and indeed confidence to know that behind the scenes things are working in the right way as well. And I think I said it yesterday, that there's this good feel factor around not just the club but the city, but also there's a spine developing within the club. Norman Parcell, community officer, and the great work he's doing. And you saw that in the crowd on Saturday. A lot of the kids that come along because of the fact that they're out there in the schools. And then the under-18 side and what they did as well, with Byron Anthony leading them. And then indeed, obviously, what Michael achieved with the first team. They're all local boys, and I think that gives us a lot of comfort, a lot of confidence of how we can all work together to avoid the position that we've been in for the last couple of seasons.
Mike, you've now got a summer of sorting out your squad. How far are you able to say how far you're down the road with keeping some of the players?
I'm having more conversations with players today, so we'll go through that. The unfortunate thing about football, you've got to release some, and you know we'll make sure we get offers over to the ones that we want to keep. We've already been talking about this, and like the chairman said, it's been the planning's been good. We wanted to get Saturday out of the way because I thought, you know, all our focus deserved to be on that. But you know, look, I'm over the moon. I'm so confident with Wayne and Lenny with me that we've got a very, very good set of staff here, and I'm sure there'll be no stone unturned to get us at that table at the start of next season, and obviously that's the aim.
And Lenny, you've seen it all.
I have. Well, no, I thought I had until Saturday.
Is this club equipped to, as I said earlier, to be better than the last couple?
What it's equipped to do, it's got to be managed. It needs a manager, not a coach, which it's got. It needs to be, everything's got to be right at a club this size. The management's got to be right, the organisation, the preparation, the recruitment, staff and players is vital. And if all those things are in place, then there's no reason why Newport can't make a challenge to get out of League Two. I don't believe there was a big gap between the top three in League Two and everybody else. There was, but I think that, well, you only got to look at it. Our form in the last 12 games, including 6 games against teams in the top, 6 fixtures against teams in the top 7, was top 8, whatever it was. Now the trick is to maintain that from the start. So at the very worst, this club needs to be halfway up League Two, looking up, not third off the bottom, looking over your shoulder. That's what it needs, and that's what we'll be attempting to do without bankrupting the place.
And Mike, last one from me. You're still a player?
Well, no. Listen, like I said, I was in a position last year where I thought I could help. You know, well, the season just gone, I thought I could help on the pitch. We had a few injuries in the midfield area, so I've said hundreds of times, any way I can help this football club, I will. I don't think there's any harm in registering, but trust me, I won't be looking to play myself. I've had a good chat with Lenny, you know, over this, and my career is in football management. It's not in being a professional footballer no more. You know, I want to give my all to help the boys on the pitch, and you know, I think I'd be doing a little bit of an injustice to myself and to them if I was to go and play week in, week out. So no, I'm not looking to play well.
So is this officially hanging up the boots, or are you going to register as a player and just in case you need it?
Listen, I'll hang up the boots, but you know, you never say never, do you?
If we have a charity match, you might be needed.
Yeah.
Yes, the question for all of you really is if this is about continuing the momentum of Saturday and throughout the summer and into next season.
Yeah. Newport won't have had a momentum like this for some considerable period of time, you know, especially in the circumstances of the last 12 games. So we must make sure we maintain that. We've got to hit the ground running on the 1st of July, whenever the pre-season starts, and we've got to try and take it into the start of the campaign. And if you get off to a good start in the first 8 games, or the first dozen games, say if they were as good as the last dozen, we're up there. And it's not, can we win the league by 10 points? No. But can we be thereabouts? Maybe, if we do everything right, as I've just said.
Lenny touched on recruitment, he's bang on. Without sounding too, you know, I told you so, because it's not like that. I'm not sure the recruitment's been the best over the last 2 seasons, and that's not a pop at anybody. I just, you know, that's just my personal opinion. You know, we had a very successful Newport team when I was still playing, and you know, to get rid of the whole squad, I think was an error. But listen, it's what happens at football clubs. People want their own personnel in, and I fully get that. You know, I'm going to want my own players in there, but does it need a full overhaul? No. Like Lenny said, we've hit some good form now, and hopefully we can keep all of the players that we want.
And I think what Saturday showed, and in fact, since Michael has taken over, you know, he gave the fans of Newport County a lot of hope. He built that momentum. It got better and better as we went on, and we saw that in the 7,500 crowd that we had on Saturday. And who would have thought that? We were averaging 2.6 previously, so you know, us as a club, we now need to keep that momentum going. We need to galvanise those supporters, and we need to hope that with what we're putting out in terms of the season tickets and pricing them at the right price that we are today, that will get that excitement going. People will come back. First match of the season, we'll have a decent crowd. You know, we try and do things right off the field in terms of making us very much a community club, and I think everybody benefits from that. The city centre here certainly benefited on Saturday before the match with the bars, the restaurants all full, and I can certainly say that first hand, as I was out with these, that on Saturday night they benefited first hand as well, so which is great for the city. So it's really, really important, I think, that, you know, the venue that we've got and where we're playing at Rodney Parade, it gives us that opportunity to galvanise that support, and hopefully that will happen come start of the season.
So you could pay for a drink on Saturday night?
Well, to be fair, there's a lot of generosity going round. Even the chairman brought it round, so that was a surprise. He nearly had a heart attack when he seen the bill, man, but it was worth it. It was definitely worth it.
I don't think he's ever bought a drink in his life, to be honest. We had a meal actually on last Sunday, I think it was, wasn't it? He said goodbye to me, and then he rang me back 10 minutes later saying, "Oh, I forgot to pay my bill." Not worry, we're used to it, Flinny.
I know there was a big message to the fans to stay off the pitch at the end, but was it worth, you know, obviously you can understand the celebrations, like, is that worth what might happen with the fine or anything like that?
Well, I think, you know, you've got to be realistic about these things. I mean, the planning that went into Saturday's game with the officials at Rodney Parade, with ourselves, was excellent. We took all the measures that we needed to do to make sure it was a safe environment for everybody. You know, there are obviously rules in place for the Football League, and indeed there's legislation in place to stop that action. But I think if you look at any situation where there is what we had in terms of staying up, or whether there's success in terms of promotion, it's always going to be the case. But I think if you look at it there, it was very jovial, it was high spirited, etc. Players celebrated as well, and I thought the fans were great when they were asked to come off the pitch so that we could do the lap of honour, and certainly all that was planned by us. But I suspect there will be a letter coming in, and we will obviously respond accordingly on that. But I have to say, I thought that the way that Saturday went, just generally, I think Alex had told me that there was the last supporters were coming in 3 minutes after kick-off. Now, to put that operation in place, where previously we've had challenges around people queuing for tickets, the late walk-ups, etc., for 7,500 people, you know, credit to everybody that was involved in that on Saturday.
Lenny, I was just going to ask you what we made of the job that Mike's done.
Very good. I mean, you know all the stats, don't you? 11 points adrift. It doesn't happen. It's not possible. And yet, it's been done. And the key to it has been the man management and pulling everybody together on and off the pitch. If you don't do that at a club like Newport, you've got no chance. If it's fragmented in any way on or off the pitch, everybody's got to be together. Players, management, directors, fans, and the off-the-field stuff that's been alluded to earlier, which I don't know too much about, but is very good for a club this size. It's disproportionate. Up until the last 12 games, it's been a sight better than what's been going on the pitch. So that's good as well. That's another plus. But you've got to. It's been his. We've all done that a little bit. It's his man management. That has been the key. Pulling all the players together, making them part of it, whether they're in the team, not in the team. Said to him, you've got to manage the ones outside the team. It's easy to manage the ones who are playing every week and doing all right. You've got to manage the ones outside the team. And there's been quite a few changes enforced and otherwise. And everybody who's come in has stepped up to the plate and done well and brought his game into it and done what he can do. And that's got to continue, and it's got to be supplemented by a reduction in quantity in terms of the number of players and an increase in quality. As I say, the recruitment's got to be right. And look, in football, I'll put it in a sentence for you. You can't stand still. On or off the field. You're either moving forward or you're moving backwards. If you're standing still or you think you are, you're actually really moving backwards. So, and things go on that quick. Now we're moving forwards on and off the field, and we've got to make sure we continue that from this day on. That's it.
Lenny was very, very kind there, but for me, it is. We all have added to what we needed to. The board have backed us, the fans have supported us, but for me, Wayne Hatswell, the job he's done has been fantastic. He's a very, very good coach. He's a good friend, somebody I trust, and I think that goes a long way. Lenny, being different class, he's come in. Let's be honest, when I rang him, I was half thinking him to hang up on me. I was thinking, oh God, at 69 years of age, managed over 1,000 games, been there, seen it, done it. Did he need this? Not really. Is he hungry? He's as hungry as he's ever been. He's not scared of the challenge. And he's been brilliant for me. He's been a calming influence. On the courses, there's always the what if question. You've got all your planning done and somebody throws in a spanner, what if? Then he does that for me non-stop. He's always asking, okay, what if 2 go down in the first 10-15 minutes, we've got to make 2 subs, we've got 2 haven't been really fit now, that could mean 4 changes, we could end the game. He's always testing me and asking me questions like that, and that, for me that's crucial. So Wayne and Lenny definitely deserve a lot of credit, obviously along with myself. So I'm over them all.
And indeed, from a board perspective as well, although Lenny probably doesn't realise this, but just having him around, at the board meetings with us, where he comes in with Michael, is really good for the boards, and the advice that he's given us as well is extremely helpful. And as I think it was Rob who said to me, what Lenny doesn't know is not worth knowing about in football. He's probably, people have forgotten more than he knows. So I mean, he gives us that at the club, and we're very fortunate to have somebody like him in and on board. And credit to Michael, it was his idea to bring Lenny in, and I think again that's where we look at the FAW licence course and say, that does produce some really, really fantastic people through it. It's quite evident that the training they give them on that course is really, really good, and I think for us that's paying dividends for us now, which we're really grateful for. I think we've always thought it's important to invest in people. We've invested in Michael in that respect, and he's actually paid that back massively by keeping us in the league.